shit.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB, Coulter Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We're in old NFL. We'd be a quarter of the way through the season. Let's just say that we still are. But yeah, week 4 has wrapped up. We're here to recap it, starting with Thursday Night Football, Cowboys-Giants, working all the way through Ravens-Bills, where the Ravens showed up to play in the second half of football. Clap it up for Baltimore. But we're going to walk through all of week 4 NFL, and near the end, we are going to be talking about some Heisman ballots because college football this year has been absolutely fun. Colorado's a must-watch every single Saturday. Jalen Milroe and the Tide also must-watch every single Saturday unless it's against USF. They just have their number for whatever reason. And a lot of Heisman ballots, a lot of who is clearly the upper echelon of college football is really starting to shake out. But before we get into any of that, I want to remind you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you're listening to this on audio platforms. Leave a 5-star like and review and comment if that's possible. I know it's possible on Spotify. I don't think it is on Apple Pods. But if you're on Spotify, leave a comment. We really appreciate it. But of course, we're going to get kicked to Danny for Summits and Plummets to start.
Yeah, I'm going to start my plummet, right? It's going to be what happened to the game I love.
Huh.
It's baseball, dude. Braves and Mets are playing a Monday doubleheader as we were talking. The Mets came back. A phenomenal game 1. Braves took early lead. Mets took the lead in the 8th inning. Braves retook the lead. Lindor hit a home run in the 9th inning to retake the lead. They win the game. And instead of putting your division rival out of the playoffs, well, you know what they do? Pitch their worst pitcher and play a bunch of AAA bats in game 2 because they want to rest their starters for tomorrow. Come on, dude.
So you're mad at a logical move?
No. Have some ethical standing and go put your rival out the playoffs.
Well, maybe if the rival did better,
dude, no one cares.
I'm keeping my players healthy.
Like if my team's okay, if like let me think.
Hey, Danny, you playing Embiid on a back-to-back to put out the Celtics or Knicks? Are you going to play?
Yes. We need it. Well, guess what? We're not winning either game without Embiid. So
that's true.
Okay, hold up. 2017, the Eagles could have rolled out the A team minus Carson Wentz. They would have rolled out Nick Foles, who was looking.
I was at the game.
Okay, the Cowboys, with certain help, I believe would have made the playoffs, but that didn't matter to Philadelphia. All that mattered was just getting out of there alive because everything's already wrapped up.
Hey, Chris, you know what the score was? 6-0.
6-0. Only touchdown was
the Eagles game.
Terrence Williams, I believe.
It was Terrence Williams. I thought it might have been Zeke. I'm not sure because Zeke still had a good back half of the year when he came back from the suspension. So
Eagles Cowboys 2018.
It's a little, what happened to the game I love, but I feel as if you might feel personal attachments to this because a couple years ago, the Chargers and Raiders could have opted to tie, and they both would have made playoffs and left the Steelers, who had no business being in the playoffs, out of it. The Raiders decide to get the first down, kick the game-winning field goal, and the Chargers.
I love that.
You love that? Well, I don't know why, because
not as a Steelers fan.
All it did was bump your draft position a couple picks up, and then you got absolutely slaughtered in the wild card. So
that's true. I was right.
Herbert absolutely deserved to make the playoffs that year. He was. It
wasn't Terrence Williams. You know who it was?
Who?
Bryce Butler.
Yeah. No, I have no clue who that is. I have no clue. That's legit a nobody.
Who is that, dude?
Shout out to him. He's probably goated, but
he's 34 years old. He played in the NFL from career stats: 79 yards, 9 touchdowns, 79 catches, 1,200 yards.
Oh, I thought you said 79 yards, 9 touchdowns. I'm like, what?
Oh no!
Wait, he's a unit.
He played 5 years and he had 1,000 yards. I mean, it's not completely nobody. But
dude, that's your average NFL career right there.
Yeah, that's Quez Watkins.
He is finally pure mid. That's what he is.
Pure mid.
But
on the other half of it, my summit is that baseball playoffs start tomorrow. And opposite to most people, I think that having playoffs start from Tuesday to Thursday, especially in October, is prime. Because look, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you got day games and then it's night games. So you got prime baseball Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're not going to compete with football. Like, think about that. They can't put a game on like the best game on Sunday. Like, only like the top market's going to compete with football. So, and they might compete with a Thursday night game, but that's about it. So I think having their NL like wild cards during the week, beautiful business decision by the MLB. So and like it does suck when your favorite team's playing a 2:00 game, you have work or you have school. Like, we don't have school anymore, but but
Yeah, you're
watch the game. Watch the game. Take off. Skip school. Whatever you want to do.
facts. Abolish the system. It doesn't align with my
Modern values.
extraordinary MLB playoff schedule.
Chris, you have to get rid of the woke media. You just got to make it all dedicate all of your time to baseball playoffs and football.
It's hilarious because I think baseball might be making the most woke changes to their game.
They
like,
are
with bigger bat, like, but it's these things are so subtle that like I have no clue why people are.
How about the helmet tap in the minors?
I don't know what that is.
I have no clue what you're referring
So
to.
they tried out something this year in the minor league baseball. If you don't like the call that the umpire made and you think it's wrong, you can tap your helmet and it challenges the call through a robotic like AI that see if it was actually.
So it's like NBA players doing this.
Yeah, but like it's in real time. Let's say they bring you out third strike and you just go like this. You could challenge the call. I think you only get so many per game.
I mean, that's woke, but for all the right reasons.
Dude, all the right reasons. Some pitchers are
people don't like that. They don't like pitch clock. They don't like.
Think about this though.
2-inch bigger bags.
It's risky. Imagine you challenge, and like it could bite you in the ass if you like try to challenge too many times and you get yourself out.
Yeah,
let's say it's like the Ravens last night where Harbaugh took 2 timeouts in a row.
You're playing the Bills, so it didn't matter. But yeah, good thing.
I've never seen a coach do that.
I can't, and we'll get to that game, but that's just not the outcome I expected. Like I can't say. I just didn't see a blowout either way. This was just like the last possible outcome on my mind.
Yeah, definitely didn't see a blowout. We'll get that later. I don't want to talk too much on it right now, but Chris, swing it over to you. Baseball got its shine
for a legendary summit in Plummets today. Today is the day that I am tired, famished, if you will, just blown away from comparison and excuses. Week before this week, it was, oh, Lamar is not this. I mean, if he had this and he's done this, then this. Oh, Josh Allen is going to do this. He's been showing he's done this all year. No turnovers, no blah, 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 blah. Oh, Josh Allen has to be Superman today. He has to do it. Oh, but a guy won 2 MVPs being Superman year after year. Greg Roman, who has broken Justin Herbert, was Lamar Jackson's offensive coordinator for that time, by the way.
Wait. I don't think Greg Roman's broke Herbert. I think
he's made him not want to pass the ball as a quarterback. I forgot.
No, he made him play ethical football.
No, he made him turn around, hand that thing to J.K. Dobbins, and say, "Yo, you want to throw You want to throw the ball? I got Lad McConkey for you, man."
Maybe what we've learned is Greg Roman is obsessed with J.K. Dobbins.
That and Gus Edwards, by the way,
and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
But yeah,
stay healthy, buddy.
All my troll aside, my summit, my summit and Plummet, good and bad, is my girlfriend's going to Greece on Wednesday morning. She's gonna be gone for a week. So there's a Plummet and a summit, right? Well, I hope not, because Giannis is taller than me. So I don't want anybody taller than me. I was playing, but I think that'll be cool for her. And I'm excited for WNBA playoffs. So I think that'll be my second summit. Liberty Aces, Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu showed them who's boss, featuring Spike Lee. So I hope my girls can bounce back and get a game to victory. But yeah, I think it's been cool. The WNBA playoffs has been kind of cool. It's literally the 4 best players in basketball, in WNBA basketball, are playing right now. You got Nafisa Collier, you got Alyssa Thomas, you got Stewie, and you got Asia Wilson. So if you like good hoops and you're waiting on basketball, those things, the W has really good hoops to offer. right now. So I think they'll promote my 2 summits. Just a lot of good stuff going on around for the ladies.
Yeah, can't complain. At a Liberty win, Sabrina went off.
Oh, one more
Stevie
thing.
went off.
I mentioned the ladies. Ogunbowale, Enrique's brother, scored the game-winning touchdown for the Texans. That was
He
kind of
did
cool.
do that.
That was
Imagine
cool.
scoring in a game-winning touchdown in the NFL. You're not even the best athlete.
Not
in
even
your
the best athlete in your
family.
family.
Not even
Not even.
close.
Not
You're
even.
not even close, dude.
But, imagine this. Take it a step further, Tone. When they were recording him celebrating, they were recording Enrique and there. So it's like wing superstar Enrique is there celebrating with her brother with the game-winning touchdown. So it was like,
Yeah,
Enrique
it kind of gives the same energy as Simone Biles' husband, but
yeah,
Enrique's brother.
Yeah.
That's gonna be Bryce. That's gonna be Bryce with Bronny, but Bronny's gonna be in the sidelines.
Bronny's brother. Yeah, no, we're calling LeBron James Bronny's dad all year.
Yeah, and we're calling Bryce Bryangelo Ball.
Bryangelo?
Bryangelo. That is nuts. That's crazy. But yeah, one thing about that, what I thought was funny, I saw on Twitter was Spike Lee, renowned New York phenom, right? Talking crap to KP.
They made it. The W
and
made
they
it.
were like, oh, notice how KP can troll with a fan and not get them kicked out. I'm like, first of all, if she wanted Spike Lee kicked out, they might kick Kelsey Plum out.
It's too bad. Yeah.
And second, Caitlin Clark kicked out of nobody. If in I think her first playoff game, like I guess there was a troll and Caitlin Clark was like, you remember what Braun did with the ref, and he was like, this guy right here, like get him out of here.
Oh, when Braun walked the ref over there and pointed to him the whole time.
Yeah, like Caitlin did something of that to an extent. It's like, oh, she's so soft or whatever. Okay, if Caitlin Clark had that interaction with Spike Lee, like I promise you, it's gonna be all friendly. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like you don't know what that person was saying to Caitlin or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't matter. We have actual good basketball teams going forward. We don't have Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark hero ball in the playoffs, which is weird that half the league makes the playoffs. But luckily, with the Golden State team come in, and I think the Portland team, well, eventually the top dogs will, those will be the ones in the playoffs. My summit, I mean, it was an interesting day of football yesterday. Certainly was. There was a lot of games that came down to the wire that we'll talk about. Here's a real summit. I dominated in fantasy. I took Danny's team. I took it into a back alley, hung him up by his ankles, and shook Mario coins out his pocket. That's what I did to team no ACLs or 0 ACLs. I think Danny has 3 guys to play. He has, I think, Waddle, Tyjae Spears, and one other person. I have Devon Acham, and I'm up by like 50. I think I'm going to be okay.
Be careful. Jalen Waddle, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns incoming. Because he's out there with Snoop.
Not with Snoop. Hell no. Not with Snoop at quarterback. Hell no.
He's going to have 200 pass rush yards. 70 are going to be passing. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Oh, gosh.
I'm cool with that. Pro Bowl Snoop, sorry.
And then in the other league, I mean, I can't thank Brian Thomas enough. I have him on both squads. He had a great game. I have Jefferson in my money league. He had a good game. I think I made the right decision. Started Stroud, Nico Collins. My man. He's so goated. So, yeah, that's pretty much the summit. Plummet, Philadelphia, they didn't lose their basketball team. They lost their football team. Reportedly, they're called the Camden Eagles now. And Nick Sirianni is a fake Italian.
Nick Sirianni is about to get booted back to New York. He said, what's up, Paisan?
Bro, we need to call up Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. We need the greatest defensive masterminds the game has ever seen to fix this defense.
Oh, no, but I thought a week ago it was we're back.
Yeah, it was. And we still are. It's just we're owned by the Bucks. And if we want to talk shit on each other's team,
no.
You got walked down by Joe Flacco. So
Joe Flacco is good.
I'd much rather get walked down by Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins to this point than Joe Flacco.
We didn't get walked down by
Kirk
down.
Cousins. You got walked down by Richardson and Flacco, actually. They both walked you down. All game. Belt ass.
If Richardson plays, The whole game we win.
Oh yeah, I'm so sure. And he was definitely giving y'all belt to ass. So I don't know what difference that would have made.
He's turning the ball over 3
Maybe
times.
I would say
Simple.
maybe if you maybe if you had a quarterback who could put the ball downfield. Anyway, another plummet. I was forced to watch that Colts Steelers game at points. That wasn't fun either. And
how did you watch the game? I barely watched the game.
I have Red Zone.
Yeah, I watched Red Zone.
The Colts coaches are terrorists, by the way, because he did hurt his hip. Next play, you get back in there. You
quarterback sweep. They said, "How Cam Newton are you?" They said, "How much like Cam Newton are you, son?" Let's find out.
They are some terrorists. But
that was crazy.
No, Mika gave him a love tap on his hip, and he just died.
That hip must have been already falling off the bone.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if I had to guess.
No, he cooked that in Tennessee. Someone, Nashville, Tennessee. They baked that like a rib. They said,
"That's what I'm saying."
right off the bone, dude.
On every single episode, you will see me wearing some kind of hat, whether it's a snapback, whether it's a dad style hat. I always got to have something to complete the outfit. And the only place where I get my hats is lids.com. Lids.com has so many different brands, and of course they have a bunch of different styles. Like I just said, it could be dad hat, snapback, it could be fitted, it could be Velcro back. Whatever you want, they got it. And with the NFL season coming up, I know you're going to want to rock and represent your favorite squad. Me personally, I'm a big Eagles guy, and I love this 47 brand throwback hat that I got from lids.com. Or if you're more of a snapback guy, I also got this NBA champions Boston Celtics new era cap from lids.com as well. If you like either of those hats and you feel like you want one to represent your squad, click the link in the description below. Whether it's new era or 47, both links will take you right to lids.com. And the best thing about Lids, they always have some type of deal going on their website. So make sure you click that link and check out any deals they got going on at lids.com.
Right off the bone.
He really touched him.
That's crazy. But we can backtrack just a little bit and talk about the Thursday night football game, which was Cowboys Giants, and
Stinkfest.
This was supposed to be the game where the Cowboys,
came out of their show.
We're gonna get a big win. This is what we always do. We beat up on bad teams, and I mean, essentially, the Giants were in it till the very end.
Okay, the question is: are the Giants as bad as people think?
Yes. Horrible. I think they are god awful.
I thought they were like 0-4 bad. You think they're 0-4 bad? It should be 0-4.
Yeah. I mean, to this point, the jury's still out on the Commanders for me personally. Because for Cliff Kingsbury, I got to see what you got post Week 10, but they look like a good team.
Yeah, man. Cliff Kingsbury, he had the Cardinals looking like they were a Super Bowl contender, and they had a 2020 Steelers collapse. So.
Yeah, but back to the Giants. 0-4 bad. Well, didn't they beat the Browns?
They beat the Browns.
Yeah, so they're one. Okay, they beat the only team that I can rightfully say they deserve to beat, because Andrew Thomas. Shout out to you, man. He looks great. He looks great. He's taken Micah Parsons effectively out of the game at the best way you can for a Micah Parsons guy. I mean, outside of like Lane Johnson, who absolutely owns him. He took Myles Garrett out of the game, the best way you could take Myles Garrett out of a game. But the Giants, yeah, they are this bad, and it kind of just boils down to we're not paying a $40 million quarterback to hand it off to a $12 million running back. But like, why? You like just it's so mind boggling to me that you just let your best player or second best player to Dexter Lawrence just walk. It's unbelievable. And while Malik Neighbors is absolutely nuts, and I think him and Jones have a level of chemistry from a, like a please save me, I'll save you relationship. Something right there, it's there, but like on a short to intermediate stuff, because like Jones can't hit him on the long ball in a point where it's super effective. As for their defense, has caught me off guard a little bit. The defense,
really?
I think it really has. It really has. I think
the D line has always been there.
Yeah,
adding Brian Burns.
And kind of like in Washington for the But for the Giants, the defensive line is just making it easier for everybody else. My complaint is that Deonte Banks might be slightly out of position. I don't know if he's a corner one because he really does try with everybody. He really tried to hang with Jefferson, and he really tried to hang with Malik Neighbors this week, but it's just like, dude, or not Malik Neighbors. Excuse me. He tried to hang with CeeDee Lamb, and it's just not. I don't know. I mean, not that anyone could cover those dudes, but it's just like I don't know if he's corner one material. But yeah, the Giants. It's like during the game when you're watching Daniels dink and dunk and not turn the ball over, it's easy to be like, oh, this game wasn't on him. But at some point, you got to be like, you have Malik Neighbors. You need to put the ball down the field at some point. And maybe that's a lack of just a real good vertical threat on the Giants. Maybe Jalen Hyatt just isn't cutting it. And, maybe you would rather prefer someone else besides Neighbors winning deep. But, dude, it's, what are we, year 7? Year 8? Or year 6, year 7?
6, yeah, 6 or 7.
Year 6?
Yeah,
Dude, I'm not trying to hear that, man. Make a play. Do something.
and honestly, I think they got their big X receiver and Neighbors. They got Wan'Dale Robinson who can run the routes underneath, be shifty, and Hyatt can be your deep threat, like strictly run verticals. So like
Hyatt's been getting DMPs, so he's clearly not good enough.
He's not good enough.
He can't get kicked in this Giants wide receiver room. He's not good.
He's bad. He's a trade candidate. Amari Cooper's a trade candidate.
I don't think they can do cross league swaps to the XFL. So where's Hyatt going?
He going to the Chiefs for his 8th round pick.
I think the Chiefs have learned their lessons about just drafting fast dudes and trading for fast dudes and hoping it pans out. Because Worthy caught a bomb yesterday, but like now Rashee Rice tears ACL. Like it's literally like this. This is not an impressive
body. The issue is the bodies, though. That's the only thing.
Well, the Chiefs receiver room just sucks.
Yeah, flat out.
Some way, somehow, I can see it. I can see Amari Cooper being a Chief for some reason. It's in my brain, bro. I can see it.
We're there. We're there. I'd like it.
I would throw up.
Dude, you know what I would throw up? Where I would throw up is if the Rams start losing and Cooper Kupp goes to the Chiefs, because I actually might throw up.
Y'all know the Chiefs. I don't understand why you and other people have this idea that like contenders like the Rams, the moment we have a banged up season, now we're just gonna call it for the foreseeable future and just trade all our guys. Like
Matthew Stafford's 37 years old.
Matthew Stafford has like never looked better. Like he looks great still. What does it matter? Who cares about his age if he's still good?
I mean, the age matters.
Rodgers is out here playing. He should be in a retirement home. The Jets don't care.
My point. The Rodgers.
What do you mean? Your point? That means he's still good. We're going all in. You just made my point.
I'm saying Rodgers could potentially retire. He's probably 1 or 2 years left max.
So what does that mean? That means the Jets are going all in right now. While Stafford is still good, they are going to go in all in right now while they have him.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams should do that, but
so they're not trading. They're all pro-level receivers.
They're in different scenarios, though. The Jets' defense is good. The Rams' defense isn't.
Okay, well, the Rams' offense is good. The Jets' offense isn't.
Fair enough.
Okay. And plus, the Rams' defense, better than advertised. They got hung 40 on by the Cardinals. Outside of that,
I'm a fan of Verse. I think Verse is one of them.
One of them thems. Whoa. That was woke because it's really one of them ones. You said one of them thems. I'm going to say that. I don't know if I have any off the top of my head, but if I get a non-binary friend, I'll call them that. Thanks.
One of them thems.
One of them thems. Yep. That's tough.
Wait. I keep there's this political advertisement that it's going around that I'm like dying at. So I think political advertisements are hilarious. Sorry, it's like an aside, but it's like Kamala is for the they them, Trump is for you, and I was like, bro, it's on TV, and I'm like, what are they trying to say here? Like,
it's trying to say that they are, what's the word? I guess just LGBT phobic is the best word to put it, but queer phobic. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Bad
But
advertising.
back to your regularly scheduled program, because Danny has to make everything political, of course. For the Cowboys, though, because we're wasting way too much time on this game. The Cowboys.
Cowboys.
What does the Cowboys have to do with politics?
Cowboys are a very political team.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna talk to Chris on this one. Chris, what did you think about the Cowboys offense? Because this was supposed to be the week where they got back into the groove. I mean, of course, they put up a big second half against the Ravens, but that's what the Cowboys do against good teams. They wait till the second half to come to play, but I would say if they couldn't get it right against the Giants, just like what did you think about the Cowboys this week?
Man, this is what a team looks like when they have an elite quarterback, dare I say it, elite wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, and no running back, and no wide receiver too, and nothing else. This is what happens. You squeak by in games against boo-boo teams that you should beat. I think it was just they just don't have enough, which I know sounds crazy talking about the Cowboys. In my opinion, I don't think they have enough offensively. I like what they're trying to do, like wide receiver 2 by committee, but I think you need an actual guy in there. And I like Brandon Cooks in reality. Like it's just I don't think they have enough. You need an actual running back, dude. Like, and I was a fan of Zeke coming back. I was cool with that, but that ain't gonna get it. Those two back there, and respect to them, that's not gonna get it done. So I think they're just missing a lot what you need on offense to where you can't even let Ferguson really open up the field, open up the game, as much as you want to, because he's damn near wide receiver 2, and they're covering him like it. Like he seems like it's like no space for him to operate. You got CD out there. It's like, I don't know. I just didn't see enough. I think they should have ran over the Giants. Even with me, I didn't think the Giants were horrible. I don't think they're good, but I think they should have ran them over, beat them by 20 plus points in my opinion, but it just didn't happen. So I think this should have been a building week. Like, you build off this one and kind of get on to the next one. I think it's still a bunch of questions that they got to answer. So I think it's a win you take, obviously, because you take every win you can, but I don't think it's one you feel good about. And I think it should be one that sounds some alarms that we may need some more.
Well, yeah, let's look at the Cowboys' next 3 games. Yeah, Pittsburgh. If you lose here in Pittsburgh, I mean, I think they're favored to win, as they should be. The Dallas Cowboys, they have talent. Without Micah Parsons, what do we know though? If they lose in Pittsburgh, they have the Lions, the Niners, and the Falcons, and then the divisional Eagles. After that, bleak is what it's looking for the Dallas Cowboys if they lose in Pittsburgh.
Well, take that with a grain of salt. It was looking bleak for the Ravens 2 weeks ago, and they're so far in their quote gauntlet, they're 2-0.
That they completely different because the Ravens are a complete team.
No, they're not.
They're much more complete than the Cowboys are.
I mean, sure, but they're not a complete team.
Okay, they could add a receiver, but outside of that, I think
they could add a few receivers. They could add a NFL level receiver.
They could add a receiving room.
Yeah,
I think Zay's an NFL level receiver, but I don't think he's a wide receiver 1. That's what I say. I don't think he's a wide receiver 1. I think that's
anyway.
The problem
Back to the Cowboys, though. I will say, if there's any positives rolling out of this week, well, not really sure, because this is also a negative for the Giants. Where I was getting with the Giants is you don't pay Saquon Barkley. It's like, it's in a vacuum, it's not that big of a deal to not pay a running back, but it very much is because he's your best offensive weapon. You just had like 22 carries for 28 yards. It was something ridiculous like that. Like, that's unacceptable. But for the Cowboys, if you're on that end, it's like, hey, our run defense is getting something going. Now, is this going to be sustainable against the Eagles, the Lions, other teams with strong running attacks? Probably not, but at least it's something to look forward to. However, DeMarcus Lawrence is out and Mike Parsons is out. So I hope Dak this is probably, I think, the lowest point of the Dak era outside of when he broke his ankle. But I really hope Dak and CD are ready to play some serious hero ball if they want to keep themselves in contention for even the playoffs. Forget the division title. Because, I mean, right now, the Commanders look like the most promising team in the division. And the Eagles, with how up and down they are, you can probably compete with them to get that second, NFC East spot if that's available to get into the playoffs. But, I mean, yeah, it does look bad for Dallas simply because injuries are stacking up at the wrong time. And offensively, they're just not, outside of CD, it's not strong. a one-dimensional team. Ferguson's a good player, but you know what I'm saying. We can move on to the Sunday games though. Wasted way too much time on a Thursday night game. What game do we want to? I'll say, of course, we want to start with the 1 o'clock window. There's not much to really talk about from Broncos Jets. It was it was raining. Jets offense looked bad. Broncos did get a second consecutive win though. Shout out to them.
I'd like to talk about Younghoe Koo. Walk off field goal for the win against the New Orleans Saints. Everyone was talking about the Saints being the best offense in the league, that they scored 42 points in both games, blah blah blah. And they lost 2 straight very quickly. Their fall from grace. But this is a divisional matchup. Their offense did look solid. I think this is more what their offense is going to look like the rest of the year. And I did say that their offense is kind of fake. I think it's pretty obvious that they're not going to be that efficient or be that crazy. I don't think Rashid Shaheed is scoring 75-yard touchdowns every game. This is not who he is. He's a solid NFL receiver. He's not doing that though. But let's look at both sides. The Saints, they had some good plays. Derek Carr can't throw a pick six, dude. Comes down to it. You throw a pick six on a botched screen play because you were very lazy and off a dude's helmet into the Falcons defender's hand, 6 the other way. And that kind of lost your team the game. Plus, you didn't capitalize the first time. They got down into the red zone and then didn't score a touchdown in the fourth quarter, which they got the ball back because their defense is baller, but that can't happen. So simple as that. Good job for the Falcons, Younghoe Koo. Kirk Cousins leading another game-winning drive this season. He's basically 2 for 2. He's 2 of 3 because his game-winning drive against the Chiefs went 1 for naught. But yeah, good for him. The Falcons have been in every game so far. They lost close game to the Steelers. They lost a close game to the Chiefs. Won a close game to the Saints. So I think the Falcons sneakily are playing very, very good football. Just next time, get Kyle Pitts involved.
Why? Get open.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins is good enough of a quarterback to share the wealth. You're not getting open. That's on you.
Yeah, I agree. That is part of it. Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney can't be your second best options in an offense when it comes to throwing the ball.
Kyle Pitts shouldn't be losing more reps than.
No, I agree. What I'm saying is
Ray McLeod.
If they're going to be a substantial contender, McLeod and Mooney can't be your second best options.
Well, then they're not going to be a substantial contender unless they trade for somebody else, because that second option outside of Drake London, it's not in the room.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you were saying get Kyle Pitts the ball more. I'm telling you, he's just not good. It's over. I was a Kyle bro, dude. It was over like 2 years ago. I feel like you're more so saying Danny's more so saying that because I played him in fantasy this week, I think, and I think he was the one who had Kyle Pitts on the squad. Or that might have been the other team. That was the other team. It wasn't Danny, but
yeah, I had McBride, which I forgot to take out of the lineup. So
yeah. So regardless, everyone I faced this week, they put up a donut at tight end.
Yo, craziest thing though, I will say about tight end, Mike Gesicki had negative yards and he had more points than Kyle Pitts. -9 yards, 1 catch.
PPR league to the moon, man. Chris, you had any thoughts on Saints Falcons?
2 more in the mid teams just going up against each other in real life. I think it was a good game though. Obviously a good game. I watched it because I have a friend who's a really big Saints fan. My girl's a Falcons fan, so it was cool to see a good game. But I don't know. I think Derek Carr kind of sucks a little bit. I'm gonna say it. He kind of sucks. He's good a little bit, but he kind of sucks a little bit too. And I think he showed more sucky plays on Sunday than more good plays.
He's an elite game manager.
No, he's not. Brock Purdy is an elite game manager.
I was about to say
maybe
my boy
not
elite.
Purdy.
That's elite.
I'm saying he's a game manager.
Except we need him not to throw a pick six, or
they're elite.
Force a screen to someone, should have threw it into the ground, end up throwing into somebody's hand.
Yeah, that's the issue with Carr, he doesn't do anything outside of being a game manager to like create plays, and he's just
Oh.
like okay. He's like
Like
he
average
doesn't.
everything.
Carr's
Yeah,
biggest
exactly.
Carr's entire demise and why you can't win with him is because he is the worst quarterback in the league under pressure. Like alongside him, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, where these dudes look fine to I would even say, in Goff's case, like elite levels when you get the clean pocket for them. But the moment you send 5, send 6, get a hand in this dude's face, they're not the quarterback that they looked like 2 seconds ago, and that's the big thing with Carr. I will say, for the first time this season, Kubiak wasn't doing him a lot of favors. There was a lot of screens, a lot of short stuff. It's like, Carr, let's take the top off the defense a little bit. Yeah, it's tough with Bates and Simmons back there, but if you just let them eliminate your game plan, if you don't even get them to respect your game plan, you're not going to win. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, these two teams, it's just that each week,
mid.
yeah, finally, pure mid. But it's the more these teams go. Obviously, the Falcons have stumbled their way to 2-2. The Saints were on cloud 9 and now have fallen back down. Now they're 2-2. The more I watch them, the more like the Bucs are going to run away with this division. I think the Bucs will destroy either of these teams. It's I don't see a high ceiling for either squad. If I had to take something good away for either team coming from this, Drake London is to me that he's a wide receiver 1.
He's an alpha.
He's a wide receiver 1. He's got a guy who can get him the ball and he can work from anywhere on the field. He can work from the X. He can work from the slot. He wins routes for someone as big as he is very quick and can, if he's in the slot, of course he's going to beat slot corners and backers. If he's on the outside, he's too big for corners. So he's starting to shape up pretty nicely. I'm very proud of the USC product there.
Sneaky USC's been producing some good receivers.
I'm a Drake London fan. Been a Drake London fan for a while.
Him and Amon-Ra?
Him, Amon-Ra, Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison also went.
Addison don't count.
Williams got him drafted.
That's fair.
So
he didn't he win the Blitnikoff in Pitt?
Yeah. Oh, Williams made him a first round receiver. He was going to get drafted. But I would say, but Addison put Pickett in the league, so he needs to pay his crimes.
Yeah, Tone, I do want to ask you your thoughts on Vikings Packers though.
Yeah, of course. Jordan Love showed up in a Brett Favre jersey, and he walked out of there honestly like Brett Favre. He walked out onto that field. He was delivering some of the best throws you're going to see all year, and then he was delivering the stupidest picks you'll see all year.
The Parkinson's disease Brett Favre picks?
Yeah, it was bad, man. But his passing chart was nuts. I mean, he
was hilarious.
I don't want to say he picked up right where he left off because you don't want to throw 3 picks, but I mean, he can access everything on the field. He's taking deep shots. Jaden Reed has never been more wide receiver 1 as like I've ever seen.
Wicks had the highest target share in the team with Watson out.
Yeah, so guys stepped up, and that's the best thing about that wide receiver room. You have a lot of high caliber guys that are willing to step up for each other. But I mean, the Vikings just came out to play. Like, of course, you see the score 31-29, but the Vikings were up big, and the Packers did make it close. I don't want to make it seem like it was garbage time, but you came out too little, too late. Because the Vikings in every single game this season came out foot on the gas, and they're stepping on throats. They're getting the run game going. They're getting the play action going. They're getting Justin Jefferson the ball because he's going to decimate you early with a quick touchdown. And Darnold's, he's picking up where he's left off of course, the previous 3 weeks. He had a bad pick near the sideline. I think he was trying to force one deep, in plus territory. I didn't really like that, but I mean, outside of that, I can't say I have too many complaints about Darnold. But yeah, Aaron Jones got his get back. Not his get back, he treated it like a revenge game, but he got his win in his return to Lambeau.
He said, "I think I got my swagger back."
Yeah, man. Okay. Anyone else have
Legendary.
any other thoughts on that game before we move on to Eagles Bucks?
Justin Jefferson, best receiver of all time.
You
Best player in
know,
the world.
what I will say about the Packers, that the way the Packers room looked, that's why I was hoping like the Ravens room would look in the sense of like this. Not necessarily I think would Christian Watson be the guy people would think would be the wide receiver one there? I mean, it's Jaden Reed right now, but I'm saying like, you know how it's like maybe three guys you can have like you love to have as a wide receiver two, but not necessarily have a wide receiver one, and they all work very well with Jordan Love. Like that's kind of what I thought we'd be getting from ours. I mean, unfortunately not. Nelson Aguilar is probably the most consistent person to throw the ball to outside of Isaiah Likely, but that's what I thought ours would look like, kind of like how Green Bay does. Like they have like 3 or 4 guys you can just depend on. But I was totally wrong. Shout out to Green Bay for that.
I mean, I would say, yeah, when we talk about the Ravens, I actually do have some praise for their receiver room. But we could talk about Eagles Bucks for now. Did anyone else get to catch this game at all?
I watched the entire game.
Yeah, I watched it on red zone for the most part.
Floor is yours.
I'll take it. To start, I believe there was a point in the game where the Bucks had 255 yards and the Eagles had 0 total yards of offense.
270.
I know it's 275, even worse. Right. I remember it was 255. Maybe they put 20 more on top of it. They showed a graphic.
Doubt it.
So here's the thing. There's so many Eagles fans that say, run the ball with Saquon Barkley. And it's actually annoying the way they say it. Like, just run the ball. Like, it's actually, like, very annoying. Like, of course you want your team to run the ball. Like, you have to have a balanced offense. Like shut up. But at some point, your offense should have positive yards when you have one of the best offensive lines in the league. Granted, Lane Johnson was out.
I don't get what you're getting at, though.
Like, there shouldn't
run the ball. Why in our first 6 plays of offense does Saquon have no yards?
That's my point, though. Like, even though
where are you getting at? If the fans are saying run the ball, they're right.
No, that's where I was getting to. Even though there's all these people saying this, and it's like a big cliche, like they're right. Like it's frustrating, it's annoying, but they're right. Like you shouldn't be sitting here not giving a running back that you like. It's like the opposite of what the Giants did. Oh, you're gonna like 40 million quarterback, and you're not gonna pay the running back. The Eagles paid the running back, and they're not giving him the ball. It doesn't make sense. Like the Giants paid the wrong guy, and then we're just like, all right, it's okay. And the Eagles paid the guy, and we're like, nah, it's all right. Like, you can block.
Yeah.
So,
Chris, any thoughts on the game?
But no, actually, I wanted to speak defensively before, like,
go ahead.
It's like I think it's a total misuse of Bryce Huff. Like they're lining him up at outside linebacker rather than playing down and letting him getting into a stance, which he played his entire Jets career at. I saw a bunch of comparisons. He is not an outside linebacker, nor does he have the skill set to do that. You need to let him get in the dirt and kind of sprint at and look, he's going to wind up getting cut if he doesn't do that because he does not have the skill set to be able to line up like TJ Watt off the edge and kind of go solo and try to make a move. That's not in a skill set. So I highly suggest that Vic Fangio looks internally at the team and says, what are these players good at? And how can I put them in the best position to succeed? Because Darius Slay, you might have to see some time on the bench, buddy. You are getting cooked by rookie 4th string receivers.
Yeah, I completely disagree with Bryce Huff. He's just not good. Like you get paid money to play football. You shouldn't have one QB hurry on the season. I don't care how out of position you are. He's been unbelievably
I agree with
bad.
that.
Unbelievably bad.
He's been very bad, but if you want to try to milk some value out of him, put him in a different position. Like let him
get him
more
naturally.
Don't
let him play.
It's like Taiwan Walker, dude. It's like Taiwan Walker. Honestly, perfect comparison. You paid a guy who had the 1 year of success, and then he just stinks.
Yeah. Chris, you had any thoughts on this game?
I don't know. I just have so many questions. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the Eagles missing AJ Brown, DeMonte Smith is, I mean, that's hell to pay. I get that. So it's like it's kind of hard for me to judge this game because I mean, like I said, missing one is one thing, but missing both is difficult. But it's like this is the time you're supposed to turn your superstars. Y'all talked about Saquon already. Like, it's supposed to be on Jalen Hurts now, right? Like, obviously at the same time, when he's a quarterback, you have to have people to throw it to, all those other things. It's just like what do you turn now? You know, I guess my thing, like, outside of giving it to Saquon more, which I already said, like, I guess what do you do to make it better offensively? Because y'all talked about defense, right? Just like offense, like what do you do to make it better? I think that's more so where I'm at with this game, where it's more like dumbfounding, like where do you go? Like a team that I thought had so many answers for so many things outside of injuries, that's obvious. Like, you know, where do you go from here? Like how do you make better on what's been happening?
Yeah,
I mean, for starters, the $250 million quarterback could stop giving the ball to the other team. That's one. Jalen Hurts' his play so far this season it's been unacceptable. I mean, there are great plays still in there, but for about the last 9-10 games in the right, or even including the playoff game, you just can't be giving the ball away at the rate that you're doing it. As for I mean, the defense, you had the game plan. Baker Mayfield is another quarterback who is absolutely garbage under pressure. Horrible.
Yep.
You just did it to Derek Carr. Why not replicate the same game plan going into this week? You continuously send 4, which none of them are getting pressure. Jalen Carter's getting double teamed. I don't even think they double team Jordan Davis anymore. You know,
no, he can't. He's not worth getting double teamed.
and Bryce Huff's getting chipped by tight ends and running backs, and he's completely ineffective. And don't even give me Josh Sweat is not doing anything either. So now we move to the secondary. Slay did not have a great day. He's been having a okay season though, so not too much on the 33-year-old. It's just the way he acts pisses me off.
After the game, he's all buddy with the guys.
That's on me. And then he, I have this, and this. Remember to say that when you slander me. That's not who you are, though. That's not who you are.
You're like saying I saw Roy Hunger 10 years ago
after our Super Bowl. That's where we almost were with you, Slay. We were like, you're not worth your money. We're going to cut you, but we bring you back because what other options do we have? So, but Slay's been fine, so not too much on him.
Saw something that said. We were so close. It said the Eagles cut Darius Slay. It was like we were so close to being free.
Yeah, and Slay was bad, but I mean, opposite of Quinion, he's been fine.
I'm about to say pleasant surprise on Quinion. I would say
Quinion Mitchell never been happy to be wrong. I was like, I wanted Terrion Arnold, and Terrion Arnold was fine. I think before he got hurt, he was still doing good. I was like, I prefer Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins' jury's still out on him, of course, working his way back from injury.
He looked good last night.
Quinion Mitchell looks locked down. He looks great. Outside of, he's gonna bite on a double move every now and then, and that's fine. Honestly, that's fine. He's aggressive. It's not like it's Jalen Mills. You know what I mean? He can run with people all over the field.
Quinion Mitchell has the speed to recover.
Exactly.
CJ Gardner-Johnson.
If you throw a bad ball, CJ Gardner-Johnson, that's coaching malpractice. I have no clue why he's guarding Mike Evans.
Why? Like, dude. You're putting a dude
brought him in here to play safety
and play nickel.
He's not a nickel corner. You can't play man to man. Speaking of guys who can't play man to man or slot, I think it's time to give Cooper DeJean a crack. I wasn't the highest on him as a corner. 0 shot. Here's the thing. So not only Maddox gets covered, he gets cooked in coverage, but he can't tackle either. I know Cooper DeJean can tackle. I know that for a fact. That's my favorite part about his game.
That miss work. Dude, Chris Godwin caught like a bubble screen or a little quick out and put his foot in the ground and stopped.
Avonte Maddox did his best, like me in high school impression, trying to low bridge somebody. Dude, you're in the NFL. Make the dude square
up. Wrap up.
Exactly. Like, dude, arm tackles, like ankle biting. Come on, man. And then another thing.
He's a veteran too. He's not like 22 years old, 23 years old.
Exactly, dude. Like there are dudes who are licking their chops. We got Eli Ricks, who's youthful. He's ready to play. We got Cooper DeJean, who's begging to play. And then the only time he gets out on the field is for punt returns, and his teammates are throwing things at him, apparently. It's tough.
That was
It's
pretty
tough.
funny.
But all
pretty
this breaks down. I'm not mad at any player because this is simply coach malpractice by Nick Sirianni. Every single week. He doesn't have his staff prepared. He doesn't have his, and then hence the coordinators don't have the players prepared. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? I tried to defend him all last year, saying like, "Oh no, it's Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson's the play caller. You know, Nick Sirianni really just doesn't really." Because all in all, yeah, the plays are different. Kellen Moore cooks the hell out for the plays, but when it comes down to the decision making, it's still Nick Sirianni. So,
yep.
Sorry.
Yo, my question: I think what if Sirianni is a case of the Brian Flores, better as an offensive coordinator?
The thing with Sirianni as a coordinator was he wasn't calling plays, to my knowledge. He was under Frank Reich, who's one of the best play callers in the NFL at the time.
How do you get hired as a head coach without calling plays?
Frank Tree. Reich had movement.
Frank Reich must be wizard powers then, because that is pretty nuts to me.
He might have been calling plays. Don't quote me on that, but regardless,
even so, even if
you can look to like 86-year-old Phillip Rivers as to why he got hired.
Yeah, he did have Rivers and then Colts balling. Was that a rookie Michael Pittman?
No, Rivers and the Colts had him balling.
Was that rookie Michael Pittman?
Might have been.
Mo Alley Cox.
They saw 1 year of Phillip. Unk still got it.
Yo, who was the tight end back in the day for Andrew Luck? The big Jack Doyle, big white dude.
I was thinking Dallas Clark, but he didn't get that much Luck. He got a lot of Manning.
Yeah, definitely more Manning. I don't think he ever played with Luck.
Well, hey, great transition. Let's talk about Colts Steelers. You know, it's not too much to talk about. I kind of really just wanted to talk about Justin Fields, who put up his best statistical game, I think, ever, yards wise. Again, making progress on hitting every spot of the field. They have a touchdown on the table if George Pickens doesn't do his best LaShawn McCoy impression.
What is he doing?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Dude, he broke a tackle, which is like one of the greatest things that he ducked under the tackle and the dude went flying, shook him off. And he did like
took the ball. He just wanted to hold it like that.
He hold it like this with one hand. Like
yeah,
he's doing a pump fake in basketball where you stick the ball out.
Bro, he was literally moving the ball. Like you watch the replay, he had it like it was kind of like moving almost. Like not like he was trying to move, but it was like kind of like turning sideways. I'm like, oh, there's no way he's keeping this.
It's utterly ridiculous. That was utterly ridiculous on his part. And then as for the Steelers' run game, wasn't nearly as effective as it was. So I think from what I was able to catch in the game, the best run seemed to come from like Cordell Patterson for whatever reason. I think for whatever reason, his old bones have more juice than Najee. But
change of pace back, I think it's a lot of situation as well. Najee's getting the rock when they kind of know the run's coming. Our O-line, not looking very bleak right now. Sam Alu's coming back, but we lost Jaden Daniels for the year with an Achilles tear. So yeah, he's in a contract year as well. Very, very not good for that. But I think they're taking steps together each week. That the worst play I will say that happened is the Zach Frazier said someone's tapped him to snap the ball, and he snapped it off Fields' face mask because Fields never gave him the cadence to give the ball. So I don't know why you would do that. Second and long turns to third and long. Second medium turns to third and long because you get 10-yard sack. Then you have to pick the yards up. Najee chops it back up, and fourth down and long. It's a different game. If you can go second, pick up 5 yards, and you can actually have a drive, and you lost a minute worth of time. So I will say this loss does not fall directly on that. The defense can't give up 27 points and 375 yards. But George Pickens, don't fumble the ball in the red zone. Zach Frazier, don't snap the ball off Justin Fields' face mask. Defense, you can't give up 375 yards. Joey Porter, you can't drop a pick in the end zone. It's simple. You have to capitalize on mistakes, and you can't make mistakes. And they made more mistakes than the other team did that day. So,
I will say, if it accounts for anything, Yeah, they were playing from behind, but this is the best their passing offenses look. Calvin Austin is starting to really come into his own.
Day one fan club.
For the Colts though, I mean, was Anthony Richardson going to keep up 18 passing yards of completion? No. But I mean, he was for real on pace to have like a pretty wicked day. And Flacco came in with the experience, just dink and dunk, and then Micah Pittman and Josh Downs.
Josh Downs, I'm big on him.
They both had spectacular days, and that's completely unacceptable by the Steelers defense. While these are, really good players, it's 100 yards, 113 yards for Pittman, and then like 83 yards and a touchdown for Downs. It's just, no. Where does Joey Porter travel?
He plays zone corner most of the time. He plays.
Yeah, that's on the whole secondary, probably miscommunications and things like that. But Flacco for a long time, Chris knows, those.
He'll do is find them 8 yards and in. He's gonna find them.
He's gonna pick apart his zone. He's gonna pick apart his zone, just like Mayfield.
Especially Patrick Queen playing in the middle of the field.
Yeah, congrats, Danny. Now you're starting to see why I wasn't mad at Trent Simpson. I love PQ. Now, don't let get this messed up. I love PQ, but sometimes when it's time to get in coverage, or when it's not somebody running straight at him, he has to tackle. He'll struggle.
He does have some of the highest of highs as like a middle of field play caller, but he also does have some lows. So it's like you have to take the highs and lows together. It's
exactly.
So
was there anything from the 1 o'clock window we missed? I mean, Bengals beat the Panthers. That's kind of like whatever.
Not much.
Yeah, I would say Bears Rams
a little bit earlier.
What'd you say? Texans Jags.
We spoke that a little bit earlier. About the game.
Yeah. Doug Peterson. I think they asked him about his job security. He was like, "Why would I be worried about my job security?" I think that tells you enough about what's going on in Jacksonville. Stroud bald, Nico bald. They are missing
Philly.
Stephon Diggs running touchdown.
They did, yes. They did miss Joe Mixon. That was pretty clear, and I think that's kind of what kept Jacksonville in the game, is they kind of knew the Texans were going to pass. Not that they could stop them too much, but Derek Stingley, I mean, essentially saved the game for him with 2 big breakups on third down. He had the breakup in the red zone that inherently prevented the Jags from taking the lead. So, only thing I have to highlight from the Bears game, Caleb keep getting better and better, keep stacking the wins. Threw one to DJ Moore, but DJ Moore doesn't seem to be very happy for whatever reason. So what I'm thinking is that Amari Cooper is going to be a Bear, and they can go ship DJ Moore to go, play with
Pittsburgh.
Watson. If I just say Cooper is going to be, here you go. And what do you send him back? What do you send him back for? What do you send him back to your division rival for Amari Cooper?
We send in a first-round pick to the Bears, and the Bears can send that.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I got the 3-team chair worked out already, Tone. Don't you even get to rolling your gears. I got it. Amari Cooper, get ready to learn Bank Stadium.
If I had a dollar for every single time you two said that you guys were going to get an elite receiver, I'd be.
We can dream. You have 2. Okay. Let us dream.
Okay. Y'all have it bad. Y'all never had it as bad as me though. Y'all weren't out there with Greg Ward, JJ Arcega-Whiteside being wide receiver 1 and 2.
Oh, but I was out there with Willie Snead as wide receiver 2. That is true. Older Willie Snead at that.
No, you had wait. Didn't the Ravens?
Ward used to be the one throwing the ball.
That is true.
Hey, Carson Wentz took that to the playoffs.
Didn't the Ravens have Deshaun Jackson as their wide receiver 1 like 2 years ago?
He was for sure not wide receiver 1 because
he was a wide receiver. He was one of them.
Dude, it was like a 35-year-old
wide receiver 1 of them.
I don't think we've had a wide receiver 1 in 5 years. So we just have wide receivers. Now, do we have a 1 or a 2? No, numbers don't matter. We have wide receivers. Now, what numbers they are, that's up for grabs.
Yeah, man. Like, I know y'all have it bad now, but trust me, like back in 2019, bro, I would have prayed for a Zay Flowers. I would have prayed for a George Pickens. Now, luckily, I have 2 receivers that are better than both of those dweebs. But
would you have prayed for Rashad Bateman? Would you have prayed for Rashad Bateman?
I don't know if I'm praying for Rashad Bateman. I think I'm cool with granted, just like the Ravens, because you guys have Mark Andrews, who's always been a staple for you guys a long time. We had Zach Ertz, but
Howie
elite-
folded by
actually, even
getting
more
rid of
so,
all the
y'all
meaties.
have Matthew or Mark Andrews and Likely. We had Ertz and a very young Goddard.
and likely is wide receiver 2, unfortunately. Maybe 1. Who fucking knows? Who knows on this team? Might be 2.
Anything else from that window? We don't really need to talk about Niners, Pats.
Nope.
Just bring me Drake May.
Yeah, please.
Browns, Raiders, definitely nothing really going on. That was kind of a snooze fest.
Made me a happy man because now it means the Steelers and Ravens rivalry back at the top of the AFC North. We're sitting all alone up top, Chris.
There you go.
Chiefs, Chargers. The Chargers got the jump on them early, but with the limited passing game, of course, you're going to fall behind to a Patrick Mahomes-led team. No shame in that. LA, you walked out of there with Herbert, intact. McConkey had a good day. I honestly think one of the biggest things, just real quick from the Chargers game, it's like Johnston. You get pause on him at the line, done. He's out of the play. There were several plays where he couldn't get off the line to run a slant, and Herbert was looking that way. He almost threw 2 picks because Johnston could not get off the line. But it was as simple as running a slant. You don't necessarily need a stem. Just go get in Herbert's, give him a target, So Danny, you can pump the brakes a little bit on the
Yeah, true.
QJ breakout until
But how about
press coverage?
How about Kareem Hunt's 5th re-breakout of all time?
Yes, because he's just never bad, really.
From outer space.
Outside of kicking a woman.
Oh, he did that? Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's
someone called him a racial slur in a hotel, and he kicked her.
It's a mess. It's
pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I'm about to look into that before.
But we'll hold our tongue on that for now. We talked about Jaden Daniels last week, so I really want to get to the Sunday game. But real quick on Jaden Daniels, man, the things with him that I guess I could say I was wrong on is things that he is now really good at. That wasn't the case at LSU. He wasn't good at accessing the middle of the field at LSU. He didn't have a good sit back and throw to scramble ratio at LSU. This is ridiculous. I just didn't anticipate this. And it looks, he's clean with the ball. I'm pleased with what I see, but I remember jury's still out until the complete end of the season. Not on Daniel's part. Daniels, you're going to rock out. You're going to do your thing. Kingsbury, can you keep this up?
Time. You know what?
Well, let's get to the steak and potatoes.
Common denominator between all these great teams: elite tight end play, and that comes down to Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is the staple for the. No, I'm not. I said it as a joke, but in reality,
dude, Ertz is he's a rookie quarterback's dream. He just gets open. I mean, last game he only had 3 catches, but when McLaurin gets 7 catches and Olamide Zaccheaus gets 6 catches, you run the ball 21 times with Brian Robinson Jr. You don't really need Zach Ertz to do that much. But
Zach Ertz has turned into old age Heath Miller at this point of his career.
Well, we can get to the steak and potatoes of the episode. I think we all know what we're here for. Bills Ravens.
Let's get to the meat.
Chris, talk to me. Bang. What did you see last night from, I'll say, the Ravens offense specifically? Because obviously their defense came to play. They brought hella pressure on Allen. What did you see from the offense, though? Because it truly seemed like everybody came to eat.
All I'm going to say is Kyle Hamilton told him in the pregame, everybody in black. Look out for everybody in black, and he was right. And 2, I don't care what you brought Derrick Henry there for. If you bring him 30 carries, 29 carries, 28 carries, give him the ball, please. And it shows. I'm not saying he's going to get a 70-yard run where he runs only 0.47 miles per hour less than Worthy has. I'm not going to say it's going to happen all the time. But damn it, it'll give you a chance if you give him the ball. So I was happy to see the game plan revolve around the run, which I've been thinking we should have been doing for a while. Maybe Lamar throws it 25, 30 times, but it's really calculated. We need to run the ball more than that. Justice Hill, thank you. he is one of the best. If you're a better rush receiving yard merchants, but that dude catches the ball and he runs very, very hard. Justice Hill is one of my favorite Ravens I've had over the last maybe 5 or 10 years, just because of how he plays. He comes play every game. And I think him being the switch-up guy until we get Keaton Mitchell back is going to be huge. And I think it showed what the offense can be if you play it around the run. Every catching threat is a threat now. You can actually get them the ball in those quick plays. You can hit people across the middle. You can do all the things because the run has opened it up. And I think that was the game plan. Because the Bills, all my troll aside, they're clearly shown to be a good team to start this year off. They were 3-0 at the time. So all I'm saying is that was a blueprint game. You have to do it the same exact way, but you have to run the ball to open up everything else. You can't make Lamar be Superman from jump for no reason. That's the reason you brought in Derrick Henry. That's the reason you did what you did. So it's like, use those weapons. And it was cool to see that done. You take some pressure off the defense by actually putting some points on the board, which we have been this year, but like they didn't let them come back, or we didn't make sorry offensive plays where we're on 3rd and 8 in the second half the whole time because we haven't been, playing real football. So it was a good bounce back to what we've been doing as far as building on what's been working and kind of going forward. And I'm looking forward to more of the same moving forward, especially against the Bengals and their run defense coming up. So,
yeah, if Justice Hill keeps playing like this, Keaton Mitchell's not getting a job. Justice Hill looks like he's a borderline top 30 running back in the league.
Justice Hill could be a slot receiver for us today for the simple fact that he runs and catches. Like I just want Justice Hill on my field. He could be on the field doing something. I just want him. I want him around for sure.
Remember that Heisman package?
Oh,
they need to bring back something like that where they got both running backs in the field, Lamar and Henry won Heisman, right? Justice Hill didn't, but Henry did, right?
Did he?
Well, what made the Heisman package back then is they put RG3 at quarterback, and they made Lamar the running back with Ingram. So that's what really made it. Of course, Lamar and Henry are a Heisman package every time they come on the field, but
they are for sure. But
never in no Heisman race.
No, he was definitely not in the Heisman race, but I do think Justice Hill is the perfect complement to Derrick Henry. I don't think you can find a more perfect complement to Henry in the league. He can catch the ball, he can come out of the backfield, and when I say nobody in the league expected Justice Hill to be this good.
Yeah, no, he's been great so far. I have to agree.
And one thing I say, he's been consistent for the Ravens year after year. Like even when our RB1 goes out, he's always the guy to get it to. He's above average, and that's all I can ask for. And I will say, Pat Ricard in front of Derrick Henry, that's madness. That's actual madness. Like watching that happen.
Get him out of here. Can he retire, please?
No.
I need to get him out of here, dude. He's too good.
So I like seeing that. That's more of that. More Pat Ricard in front of Derrick Henry, and we dare you to stop us. I just like seeing that.
I would say another way to get your other running backs going. I don't know if you necessarily want to use any of Derrick Henry's remaining tread on this, but like using Derrick Henry as a fullback. Was something the Eagles did a while back. They used Miles. We have Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard. They would use Jordan Howard as a fullback for Miles Sanders, and it did wonders for him. So, Henry, I'm sure he's capable of being a fullback. I just don't know if they want to use his energy that way.
Playoff time, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was about to say,
playoff time when we have everything to lose. So.
But the issue is, we saw with the Ravens the last year in the playoffs. They forget how they got to the playoffs in the playoffs. So then maybe this year they could remember.
I think the Chiefs scared us too into not running the ball, and I think that's what's happened with the Chargers. The Chargers been running the ball so well, they tried to run against the Chiefs. Chiefs said, and they just threw off the whole thing too.
That's scared them away. Herbert's ankle is also pretty cooked.
That too.
And Chris Jones plays football.
Yeah. Absolute game wrecker. But with the Ravens, I will say I absolutely agree with you, Chris. The ability to get up early and then, it's pressure all day on Josh Allen. Now, mind you, how much are you really going to affect Josh Allen on pressure? Time will tell. But if your guys can hold up downfield, you're going to have some success. Now, Josh Allen was still making some ridiculous plays.
Had one literally of the craziest throws I've ever seen.
Yeah, he had one where he was essentially a ballerina on the sideline.
Oh, out of bounds?
Up to Shakir. It was ridiculous. He's an absolute magician. This was very Mahomes' second Super Bowl-esque. Not that his, tackles were down or anything, but it was just he wasn't turning the ball over. Well, he did have the one where they were trying to run the trick play, and then got hit from behind. That was his sole turnover. But I think overall, like, Allen was fine. But it's just hard because the Ravens were just not letting them have a run game. No shot. James Cook has been cooking everybody. The Ravens were like, not today. Simpson, Roquan, we're going to get sideline to sideline. We're going to get, and we're still going to get north and south. We're going to, close up these running lanes for Cook. And then I can't say enough about the secondary. Hamilton was right. Pay attention to the fellows wearing black. And Kyle Hamilton, dog, just know who your biggest fan was. When you go to camp, man, just remember, I wanted you on the Eagles. I didn't want Jordan Davis. I wanted you. I wanted it to be you. I wanted him so bad. I did not care about positional value. I'm like, dude, he's going to be like the best defender or best secondary player in the NFL one of these days. And he's certainly in that. I wish Howie Roseman wanted him. I want that. But yeah, nonetheless, this was an absolute masterclass of a game by the Ravens, and still a great quarterback battle between quarterbacks 2 and 3 in our league. However you put them, that's where they are. Leave Herbert out of these discussions. Leave out Burrow out of these discussions.
Chris is about to cook something up. He's about to say they're 1 and 2 in the league.
Nah, he's about to say it's clearly Lamar 2, clearly Allen 3. Which I'm not against a Lamar 2. Like, I am Lamar 2 for the basic reason that no MVP. It's that simple.
Larry,
all I'm saying is this: if your 3 isn't Mahomes, Lamar, Allen in whatever shape or form you got it, you're wrong. I will say that.
Yeah, it should be Mahomes, and then you can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it should be. That should be your 3,
and then you can probably, in my opinion, I'm not even mad if you put Stafford top 5 because he's cold. But
I'm not mad at if you wherever you have Burrow, you have Dak right next to him, and I'm starting that agenda for the rest of the year. So take that. All that, but yeah. So I'll say this.
Here we go, man. Chris doing the full 180 in a calendar year. He's part of the Dak FC. Let's go.
And it gives me a chance.
We got another recruit. We got another recruit on Dak FC.
But yeah, I think those are your top 3, and I think Josh Allen showed why he's solidified top 3 wherever you want to go, 2 or 3, wherever it is. The plays he's making yesterday against a defense like all bias aside, I think the Ravens are one of the better defenses every year, pretty much. But I think this
top
year
5.
they've been pretty good. And the plays he's making against those dudes, it was special. And like I said, he doesn't have his digs anymore. He doesn't even have I don't even know. Does he really have a wide receiver 1 right now? Like that type of thing. So it was impressive to see him just go out there and play. Like I said, football, you can rate it by points and everything else, but eye test shows you one thing, and Josh Allen's special. He is. It's just, I think he's gonna have to be special for them to continue to compete, because I don't think that, like I said in the beginning of the year, I don't think that roster offensively has enough.
It's not the offense.
Yeah.
Defense is hurt too, I know, but I just think
the defense had their first bad outing yesterday, but I'm gonna bet on Sean McDermott to roll out a much better performance from here on out.
Now, I understand McDermott's going to have them fundamentally sound. The skill level, when you wind up going against a high-level offense, which they haven't really faced up to the point, you could say the Dolphins without Tua, but I don't know. Dude.
Yeah. Don't say Dolphins without Tua. Tua was having one of the worst games by him that I've ever seen up until the point where he went down.
Tua had
that absolutely counts.
The Tua had the concussion again.
Well, so be it. But nonetheless, we didn't really. Well, we're recording before Monday Night Football, so unfortunately, we're missing the masterclass of Seahawks Lions, which I think it's going to be. Dolphins game is going to be a snooze fest. But
make your picks. Let's make a quick pick then.
Lions and whoever the Dolphins are playing. Who are they playing?
Titans.
Give me the Titans. Dolphins offense is going to have the inability to move the football down the field.
I got
Lions offense.
Yeah, I got Pro Bowl Snoop and company to beat Will Levis, close my eyes and throw the ball in the air team.
We're the only people ever inducted into Snoop FC.
Snoop FC right here.
Pro Bowl Snoop, by the way, Tone, put some respect on that brother's name. I'm picking Pro Bowl Snoop, and I'm picking
Derek Carr was in that Pro Bowl, by the way. I want y'all to know that.
Pro Bowl Derek Carr it is then.
Kenny Pickett was up for consideration at Pro Bowl,
but he didn't make it, so that doesn't count. Pro Bowl.
Okay, let's get to this Heisman ballot, though.
Do a quick rundown.
Yeah, I mean,
top 5 candidates. In what order? Tone, you can start.
You want me to start? Okay,
it was your idea, so I'll let you start it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. At number 1, I have Travis Hunter. And look, on mine, this is not a most valuable. While Travis is, like, you could argue he also is the MVP. This is the most outstanding player in college football. And just on a week-to-week basis, why am I looking at the screen and someone that is not a quarterback has a touchdown to interception ratio in the best way possible? Like, it's utterly ridiculous what he's doing for the Buffs on offense to lead a receiver room that has Horn, Shepard, Wester. It's great work by Travis. Obviously Shador as well. Now you turn around and he's the best corner in the country. It's absolutely outstanding, and it's been this way for 2 years. But this year, I think he's taken it to an even better level on both sides of the ball. He'll be my 1. At number 2, I'm going to have Jalen Milroe. And 2 and 3 is reversible. I'll get to that in a second. I have Jalen Milroe. He's the best quarterback on the best team in the country. And it's not in a Stetson Bennett way. It's not in a Carson Beck way. It's in like, I run this team way. Like, we're here because I'm here. He said, I'm strong if you strong, then we strong then. It's kind of like that.
What do you say?
Jalen Milroe is an absolute workhorse on the ground. Like Kirby Smart said it the best. Like, they have a quarterback who would be the best running back in the country, but he can also throw the ball like 1,000,000 yards. So, and he made all the right plays. Last week, his only interception, it was a tip drill interception. I know there's no mark for not your fault interceptions, but he practically played a great game. He played a great game against Georgia. So he'll be met too. Number 3, I have Ashton Jeanty. I don't really think I have to explain myself. He's like the best contact balance I've ever seen in my life, and he's putting up games I couldn't put up on College Football 25. Go ahead, Chris.
Not to interrupt you, Tom, but I do want to say this. I think he deserves to be everybody's top 3 off a simple fact. I seen a rushing line at 183 for him. I looked at it, I said, excuse me, he's not getting that. He had like 184 with like 2 minutes left in the third quarter. I said, oh yeah, this guy's got to be serious. I've never seen anything like that.
He's ridiculous.
That's insane, dude. That's insane.
Absolutely insane, man.
183 yards. Are you kidding?
He absolutely deserves to be in this race. And if he's your number 1, I would not dispute it. Like, his numbers are the only thing that I can, like, that's the only thing that's just like just about as crazy as what Travis Hunter is doing. And from a statistical, I mean, dude, he's averaging a yard or a first down a carry. Are you serious? That's ridiculous. And then number 4, I do have arguably the best quarterback in the country right now, Cam Ward, who has his Miami Hurricanes undefeated, probably on pace to go win the ACC. And he's just been great. You know, he's putting up a lot of points. He's not turning the ball over that much. He just won a thriller of a game last Friday, I believe. Yeah, so he's my 4. And at number 5, I was considering a couple different guys. You know, Ryan Williams is definitely in the mix. And there's another person who is definitely not in the mix, but I really wish I could say like Nick Singleton, because if he had all the carries for Penn State, dude, he'd so easily be in this race. Dude, he's so good. But my number 5 is my second Buff player on the list. I have Shador Sanders, who week after week, I mean, just continues to show why he's just a little bit different than the other quarterbacks coming into this class. Of course, everyone who knows me knows I have quarterback 1 is Jalen Milroe. I don't care what you think about his ability to read the field or throw in precision. I don't care. But Shador is easily making my quarterback 2. He, especially the last couple weeks, the escapability's been there. He's won an absolute thriller and then went on the road as 2 touchdown dogs and beat the crap out of UCF. Wasn't even close. Smoked them. He had a phenomenal game. So he's going to be my 5. And of course, honorable mentions Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith.
I love that.
Drew Aller.
I will say Jalen Milroe is what Joe Milton fan club people think he is.
Yeah. Because like Joe Milton, yeah, he could throw the ball like a million yards, but he doesn't run a 4.3, and he's not like arguably the best, deep sideline passer in the nation.
Yeah.
Like that's how good Milroe is, and now he has two staples to build off of. He's going to be just fine in the NFL. Like if Anthony Richardson was a top 5 pick, yeah, bring me Milroe, bring me Milroe to New York. Yep.
Yeah. For the sake of
Not that I
timing,
want to play him 2 times a year, but him to neighbors, I need that.
yeah. For the sake of timing, I have a lot of repeats, so I don't have to explain my. I don't have to explain what you
Just
already
give your
said.
top 4, and then I'm sure your 5's different, but
My 5 is I have Cam Ward at 1. I have Travis Hunter at 2. Genty's at 3. My 4. Who do you think number 4 is?
it's not Milroe.
Is Jackson Dart?
4 Shador and Milroe's 5.
Oh, okay.
How dare you put that unranked quarterback over my number 1 ranked glorious Pookie?
I love
I think
Milroe
has more it moments this year. I mean, Shador has kind of like the it moment this year, but
Shador has the it moment. Cam Ward had his Heisman moment. Milroe's moment was made by Ryan Williams.
fair. He also did have a 36. Well, he completed the pass though. I mean, that's pretty brutal if you ask me. While Danny's frozen, we could just swing it to Chris for his 5.
My 5 is the same. I have different order though.
Go ahead.
I wish I had some difference to add. I almost had.
It's so cool because I think the order is still enough to talk about.
Okay, so I have Travis Hunter first.
Okay.
I have Jalen Milroe second.
Ball.
I have Cam Ward third.
Okay.
Ashton Genty fourth, and I have Shador fifth.
So I would say we all basically have the same top 5 different order. I'm completely fine with that.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I almost had Genty second because I think Travis is my Heisman for sure, but I think Genty could be anywhere from your 1 to 5, dude. Like that's just special. Like being able to put up the number you're doing. Like you can make a guy right now on Road to Glory, and he won't be able to do that. But it's it's just special, bro. And I think that just has to get some credit, especially being that school. But it's like he deserves the credit that he deserves a lot of credit for the season he's putting up now. Like I said, especially if it continues to go, even at 3/4 of the pace it's going right now, he's gonna have one of the more legendary seasons you can have. So big fan of him.
Exactly. Through 4 games for him. The thing is with him and Travis, the momentum has to keep being pushed by the media. They have to continue to push this race. And the best thing about it, so a lot of people refer to last year as, this Heisman race is weak. Like, and the year before that, they consider it weak because we had like Stetson Bennett going to New York and stuff for the Heisman. It's like, whatever. But like this year, okay, for all of our top 5s, we have 3 quarterbacks, and none of these quarterbacks are scrub. You have the quarterback of the number 1 team in the nation who's absolutely balling. You have Cam Ward, who's a top 7 ranked team playing like the best quarterback in the nation. And then you have Sanders, who's not on a ranked team, but he's still absolutely amazing and definitely in the conversation for number 1 pick next year. And then the other two guys, you couldn't find if you walked this earth like a million times. And like you wouldn't be able to find a two-way, an elite two-way football player and a running back that makes your franchise running back on rookie mode look sorry. No way. So that's what I would say on those. Danny did unfortunately like check out, I guess, because his laptop has issues, it's old, whatever the case may be. But Chris, did you have anything to say before we get on out of here?
No, but I'm just going to repeat what I said earlier. If you are into basketball and you're waiting on NBA, please give W a watch right now for the simple fact that you're going to see the best 4 players in the sport right now. I think Caitlin Clark, she's on my list of top 10. I have her 9. And it's not because I'm hating on Caitlin Clark. I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan for those listening.
You have a rookie in the top 9, bro. That's not hating.
Yeah, and it's 4. I think the 4 best players in basketball are playing. So it's a good hoop. Starting tomorrow, it's good hoops. Unfortunately, they do double headers like it's the NBA and they have 4 games to play. They should have their own day, primetime days. That's just me. But yeah, Tuesday, some good hoops.
Yep, you heard the man. Go watch Sabrina. Go sweep the Aces. You heard it.
Oof, I'll be sick.
It's coming.
But
Stewie
hey, Tony,
snatching her
crazy thing I've been looking at?
MVP back.
You know what crazy I've been seeing? So the expansion draft is 12-6 for WNBA. It's like in tone now. And they said this team gets to pick 12 women. But even once they pick them, they still have to negotiate their rights and stuff. So it's like they feel like it's a good chance that a lot of those players, if they like don't want to go to a startup team, like they'll easily be like negotiated back to the other team. And also one thing I learned about expansion drafts when it comes to NBA and WNBA, and this is something you could probably just think about, but like say a team wants a player who still has a year left, they'll say, all right, you draft him from the team, we'll give you a pick for this. Like I was watching Woj and Sean Marks talk about like for the upcoming NBA. I think that's going to make this expansion really important because like it's a lot of players who contracts up. I won't say Kelsey's up. It's a lot of like stars who their deals up this year. So I think that's going to be a big shakeup for the W coming up. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. Teams better get ready to learn to call up Gabby Marshall's job. Say, hey, can we like borrow her for a little bit? Nah, that's how that's gonna go down.
Fact.
And I'm like, yeah, so like can we get like Nika Mule off their bench in Seattle's like, no. She runs our social media. What are you talking about?
Obviously.
We can't give her up.
And
she did have the last game of the season, though. Respect my girl.
You know that? Juju just got another Juju on her team.
That is correct. I did see that. Like when you see them side by side, like face to like, you know, you actually look on them like, okay, they don't look like that similar. But it's just because
I'm talking about
like,
the height and weight, like their size and weight. And
they're like identical. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
But the girl, I think Juju was wearing braids, and the girl was wearing like the signature Juju bun, and it was just like this is making everything so confusing.
Yep, Spider-Man meme, but back.
Yeah, those two are going to wreak havoc on the the college basketball world until they got to see UConn and them in the championship.
Boy, oh boy.
Paige, you don't win it. You don't win a national championship as a super senior. You are a fraud.
Yeah, unfortunately, you might have to go number 4 to the sky.
Streets are saying she's going to the Liberty. I don't know. Don't ask how it's happening either.
WNBA is cooked. If that happens, cooked.
That's all we got for today, though. Again, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and then if you're listening to this on audio, please leave a 5-star like and review from AP New Freezer, Coulter Boy, and DC Comics, even though he's technically not here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.